Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 222. So I got news for you. All customers were not created equal. Some were created better than others. And we're going to talk a little bit about it today. And I'm going to explain what the hell I'm talking about and how Tiege Hanley's strategy is morphing as we speak. So the meeting was amazing. I think this was one of the best meetings yet. And why? Okay, so let me back up. Before I left, I sort of stood up and said something to everybody, letting them know how proud of them I am and how amazing and optimistic I'm feeling right now. And it's honestly, it's the most optimistic I've been in a long time in terms of Tiege Hanley. Now, when I say I'm optimistic now, it doesn't mean that I wasn't optimistic, but when you're like banging your head against the wall doing something that you think is right, but you're not seeing the results that you expect or that you want, it gets frustrating. And I think for Tiege Hanley, it's been an interesting sort of life cycle in terms of our business. It has been very interesting to look back now that we're like 4 years into it. You know, the first 3 years, actually, no, 2.5 years, it was nothing but up, right? We could do no wrong. And one of the problems is that we were ignorant to our own success. And what I mean by that is sometimes when things are going good, you think you're untouchable. You can't do anything wrong. And then there was this point, dollar amount point where it's once we reached X in revenue, it's everything sort of slowed down. And then when we reached another level or X in revenue, it got harder. And so there have been these three big speed bumps in the evolution of our business, Tiege Hanley. And for the first 2.5 years, it was nothing but up. We were saying, yo, here's the subscription, here's the offer, here's the discount, sign up. And we were signing up so many people, we were converting so many sales that it didn't really even matter that we were losing so many people from the churn and our retention wasn't that great. It didn't even matter because we knew we had the ability to just keep throwing people, or they talk about the funnel. We knew that we could just keep jamming people into the funnel, and that was one of our strengths. And that was one of our sort of the secret sauce. We had the ability to get out in front of a lot of people and to just talk about Tiege Hanley. And so, for the first 2.5 years, it was nothing but straight up. And so we didn't realize what we were doing wrong. We didn't realize the error in our ways. It's hey, we're up, 200% this year. We're up 200% this year. We're up, we kept making these giant leaps up. And then it's somebody was no, Tiege, you're not that special. So for the past, I'd say year and a half, once we reached this one level, and I know I'm being cryptic, but I just can't talk about numbers like that. It got challenging. And then it was oh shit, wait a second, hold up a second. You mean we actually have to figure this out? And it got hard. And then it got even harder. And this isn't to say that we didn't continue to grow. Our sales have been up. We grew, I think last year we were up, I think it was 20%, 15, 20%, but that's not what we want. We want to be, much, much higher than that in terms of growth. But what happened and what it forced us to do was really sort of analyze our business and our strategy. And as you guys know, because you've been following this for a while, you know that, about I'd say 9 months ago, we sort of cut the discounting. It was all part of this greater overarching strategy of getting rid of these trialists, the people that are just coming in on discount, then they're canceling their account, and then they're signing up again. We were creating a culture of serial couponers. And so it was super scary for me, as I've talked about before. But Kelly had the vision that this is what we need to do. And the other person that's been on our team that's really been a big advocate for look at the numbers, do your research, figure out what is actually happening is our advisor Brian, who actually is a very, very small part of Tiege Hanley in terms of equity, but he has had, he's one of Kelly's best friends, if not his best friend, and he has been, so a little bit more about Brian. You saw him in the Christmas vlog. He sort of came up and was talking for a brief moment. He's had a lot of businesses, and he has been uber successful in his different careers. And he's just one of those guys that just gets it. He is smart, and he looks at things differently than I do, than Rob does, than Kelly does oftentimes. And so having him sort of like in our corner and being the most like data-driven decision maker you'll ever meet, it really has forced us and helped us to really look at everything and figure out like where we're going wrong and what we need to do and what is the actual value of a customer and what does that look like? What does it look like in terms of acquisition costs? What does it look like in terms of retention? And by identifying and figuring out all these little nuances and the metrics in terms of how you are gauging things based on data as opposed to gut feeling and ignorance, which is what I think we did for the first like 2 years, it's really amazing. And so all of that to say that I have not felt this optimistic in terms of Tiege Hanley, our business, our growth, our future, like I do right now. And one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, is that we've dropped, and I'm not going to say like exactly what the number is, but we dropped our 30-day churn by 8%. 8% in the past like 3 months. And that is like that's not just like a little needle mover, that is a huge needle mover. But because of this idea that, hey, we need to take better care of our customers, we really sort of started to go down this rabbit hole of our customers. And even though, I'm the first person to be like, no, our customers are guys, like they're with us. We are a customer-centric business. And I thought that and I still think that we were. But we weren't as customer-centric as we needed to be and as we are going to be moving forward. So this brings us to this concept of being a customer-centric business. And in a nutshell, I am totally going to butcher this. Being a customer-centric business gives you a competitive advantage over everybody else because a customer-centric business makes decisions in their business based on the best interest of their customer in order to encourage loyalty, in order to encourage retention, in order to encourage this culture of feeling good about the company you are doing business with. In the consumer times that we live, where choices are plentiful, they are overflowing, and we as the consumer, we have the ability to basically change who we do business with, who we spend our hard-earned dollars with at a moment's notice, right? If you don't like a company, if you get a t-shirt or something and it rips and it doesn't like hold up and you take it back, you're like, hey, this didn't hold up, can I get a refund or can I get another one? And they're like, nope, sorry, that's not our policy. You can be like, yo, no problem, I'm gonna go to the Gap, or I'm not gonna go to the Gap, I'm gonna buy a t-shirt from here. I mean, you have choices. We have so many choices. And this is true with grooming products, right? The choice that you have to spend your money with Tiege or a Jack Black or Baxter or any of these other, companies, you've got the choice. If you don't like us, if we do you dirty or you don't really feel like you like the products or whatever, you're going to spend your money somewhere else. But in a customer-centric business, it is all about developing this culture, this loyalty with your audience, letting them know that we got your back. We are here for you, and we are going to do everything in our power to make our customers, our best customers, feel valued. And this is something that Tiege Hanley has not done. We treated all of our customers pretty much the same way, right? We said, hey, you're coming in, you're either a level 1, level 2, level 3, you're coming in, if you don't like our products, whatever, you're out of here, boom. And we would be like, yo, you can't buy any of our products if you don't stick to our system. And then, to take it one step further, we also treated all of our customers the same. People that have been there 2 months are treated the same as somebody who's been there for 2 years. And in a customer-centric business and model, you are valuing certain customers more than other customers. Certain customers are going to be more valuable than other customers. So let me give you an example of a customer-centric business. And I'm going to use Delta, the airline Delta, as an example. So regardless of if you like Delta or not, Delta is a customer-centric business. They do more for people that spend more money with them. They value me as somebody who flies Delta pretty much exclusively whenever I can. They value me and the fact that I do that more than somebody who just buys a ticket now and then. I've got my Sky Miles account. I've got status. Delta can see, okay, Alpha M spends X number of dollars a year on airline tickets, spends this, does this, he's got his Delta Sky Mile Club, he does all this stuff, right? I am spending a lot of money with Delta. And so what happens, if I need to stand by, I go up to the counter, they look at my account, they see my Sky Miles number, right? I am going to jump everybody who's in line that is not as high a priority as I am, because Delta realizes that, hey, this guy is the one we need to really go out of our way in order to make him feel special and to give him special treatment because he spends more money with us. You get the idea? So here's another example. Starbucks, all right? I go into a Starbucks in my town versus I go into a Starbucks in Seattle, I go into a Starbucks in New York City. I am treated the same. It doesn't matter that I spend thousands of dollars worth of coffee however, I don't know how long, but I always I'm using the thing. They know, right? They've got all of my data. They have all of the information. They know that I am spending X number of dollars a month, that I am always, doing my thing. Now, they sure give me some points and give me some stars, but they do that for everybody. They don't know my name. They know my name because it's on my app, but nobody calls me my name. And they treat me the same as everybody else. If you go into Starbucks for the first time, they're going to treat you the same as they do me. But here's the thing. You can't confuse being a good customer service business with being a customer-centric business. They're two different things, right? You should, of course, have great customer service. In Starbucks, they go above and beyond to make sure that everybody feels good about themselves, that everybody can hang out and do whatever, right? They've got good customer service, but they are not a customer-centric business. They don't value me more than somebody else that comes into Starbucks for the first time. I might have totally butchered this whole concept, but hopefully you get the idea. Tiege Hanley is diving headfirst down the customer-centric rabbit hole. It all started when we started doing all this like giveaway stuff, right? Where we're throwing a lip balm and the dop kits and we're letting people know that, hey, after your $6 you get a t-shirt. We're doing all sorts of things that is doing nothing more. Well, it's actually doing a few things. But for us as a company, our bottom line, it's costing us money. It costs us a lot of money because of how many freaking customers we have to send everybody a lip balm or a t-shirt after 6. These are things that have real costs. But the thing that they don't talk about, and the thing that is not necessarily as tangible, is what it does long term. On paper, you see, I gave somebody a lip balm, it cost me X number of dollars, right? Bottom line, you're like, damn, that's a lot of money, right? Are you sure we should be doing this? But what does giving that lip balm do from a holistic, bigger picture perspective? What does that do for the goodwill? What does that do for the customer's loyalty? And maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm going to stick one more box. Maybe I'm going to tell a friend. Maybe I'm going to, if I can't afford it now, but when I can afford skincare and I get out of college, that's who I'm going with because they gave me a lip balm. Now, you can't put your finger on a dollar amount with that, unfortunately, right now. But overall, you're doing things that are building your brand. You're building your brand's equity. You're building the goodwill, the feeling, and making that business a more customer-centric business. It just makes sense, right? But it's hard to do. It's hard because you need data. And creating a company that is based on this customer-centric philosophy and mantra is expensive. It's profit that you're basically taking off of the table, but from an overall big picture, we feel gives you a competitive advantage and ultimately will move your business in a much more positive direction. Now, our business, once we started doing some of these things and we cut the discounting and got rid of that whole serial discounting culture, we've seen it. We've seen it firsthand. Our numbers, it was boom. It was just crazy what happened. And so I guess that's the business lesson in this crazy rambling vlog, is that if you want to give yourself and your business a competitive advantage over all the other people that are playing in your marketplace, you need to make your business all about the customer. Is it going to cost you a little bit of money? Yes. Is it going to take more time? Yes. Is it going to require you to not just jam things down their throat that you think is good for them It's going to take you more time to analyze what they're telling you. It's going to take you more resources. But at the end of the day, and I'm using that bad boy today, at the end of the day, your company, your business will be stronger and more sustainable over the long term. This is some heavy stuff. Sorry if this is like a little bit confusing. Hopefully, you understand what I'm trying to say. If you're interested in learning more about what a customer-centric business is and how to do it and implement it and tips, guys, just Google search it. You'll be able to find a ton of stuff. This isn't something that we came up with. It's been out there for a while, but it's something that we are adopting, and we're really excited about it. And with that in mind, some other things that you can look for in the very near future from Tiege Hanley is a more customized experience. This is something that we have shied away from the beginning, and it wasn't up until, actually Kelly had mentioned something about making it more like customizable, probably a year and a half ago. But in terms of application and figuring out how to do it and what it looks like, it caused us to sort of shake our foundation. And that's sort of what's happened over the course of the past year. Tiege Hanley, we had to shake our foundation in order to look at things differently because we were one-dimensional. We were looking at, we are a system, this is what we do, but now we're thinking about it in what does it mean to be a system? What does it mean to be a Tiege Hanley member? And our whole thing is we want to give people what they want when they want it. We want to make this a company that gives you, the consumer, the people spending your hard-earned cash with us, we want to give you what you want. What this means is that, we want to make sure that you're only getting and paying for the products that you use. And like Kevin O'Leary sort of said in that video, which is so crazy how he just nailed it immediately, is that you got to figure out how to give people what they want and not give them extra stuff. And so one of the things that we're really excited about is in the near future, you're going to be able to customize your box better. So if you're on a level 3, you love all the products, but you don't use scrub, you just simply click a button, you remove scrub, it reduces your cost by whatever dollar amount. And then that's for you. You want to add, an extra serum? Bang, you can do that now. You want to add a bar of soap? Whatever, boom, you can do that. Customization, it's all about giving you what you want when you want it and not giving you products that you don't need. But part of it was us shaking our foundation and realizing that we might not be right. Yes, we were able to grow super fast. We have, a very profitable business that does a lot of money annually in revenue. But are we wrong? Are we wrong to some degree? And then once you figure out, yeah, I think we got a problem here, how do you fix what you need to fix, and how big of a problem is it? Because, like I said, you can get complacent, you can get comfortable. When sales are good, when sales are moving in that direction, you don't think about all the people that are falling off. You don't fix that problem. You know that you can keep acquiring. And so this is something that Tiege Hanley has really had to sort of figure out. Now, with that and all of these things that we want to do, there's a lot that we want to do, and that not want to, we are doing. One of the issues that we have as a company is bandwidth, right? Because in order to implement all of these things, it's pretty much technology plays. And so we are deficient in the technology department. We've got, a few people. We've got Jay, who is a rock star, but Jay is only one dude, right? And then, we've got agencies that we outsource stuff to, but we need to be deeper in terms of our bench strength in technology. I mean, this is what we do. And this is what is oftentimes holding up our ability to be super quick and reactive. And that's something as a company that we pride ourselves on, right? We pride ourselves on being small and nimble. Well, as we've gotten bigger, our team has grown, but we need to be better and bigger in certain disciplines. And technology is one of those disciplines that we definitely need to bump up in order for us to fulfill and execute this new, more customizable experience that you are going to see with Tiege Hanley. The other thing that is a big issue is the fulfillment. How are we going to fulfill the new, more customizable Tiege Hanley, orders? And so these are all things that we're working out. We've got a great team, though, and so I know that we're going to solve the problems. But I just wanted to let you know a little bit about what's going on, into the weeds, what's going on, and what we're sort of excited about and what I'm excited about. Because like I said, I have not been this optimistic for this company and this excited and this just amped up for a long time. And it's all because of it's like you're finally seeing like the light, right? And the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, our tunnel is long, and we don't really know exactly where it's going, but we're moving in the right direction. And the light is getting bigger as opposed to smaller. And so I think that is definitely something that you should work towards, is solving problems, figuring out, listening to your customers. I think if that's the one takeaway you get from this video and this vlog, is listen to your customers. If you do that, if you make them know that you're listening, that you appreciate them, and you value them for what they are, which is your family, essentially, sky's the limit. But you got to get out of your own way. And Tiege Hanley has been in its own way for a little bit, but we finally have shaken the foundation enough to shake things loose and be uncomfortable, because that's the other thing about it. I was really uncomfortable with this whole strategy for a while. And it's so incredible and great to know that I had strong people surrounding me that believed in the vision, that knew that we were on the right track, and that was going to make sure that we see this through, because I would have jumped like, no, back to just trying to acquire. So anyway, guys, I know I talked a lot in this vlog. I know I didn't get to any of your business questions. Down in the comments, if you've got a business question, next week we're going to make it a lot more about you and your business questions, says the guy talking all about customer-centric businesses. Anyway, guys, as always, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. I know that I was a little bit all over the place. Hopefully this made sense. Definitely do your research. And if I had one thing to say, listen to your customers, because they will always steer you in the right direction. It might not be easy to hear. It might not be an easy direction, but ultimately it is the right direction. Guys, we love you more than what? Say it with me. Our double monk strap shoes.